all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757. Hydro, the vapes and blunts I smoke. That's exactly what I need when I'm blowing on them trees. On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757. Hydro, the vapes and blunts I smoke. That's exactly what I need.
What's up, everybody? Here we are, the after show, but later, episode number 300. We're the 338. It's your boys D and Luis Cortez Jr. We are here for another live episode. Today, the timing was a little off. Luis was gonna be at a different time, showed up on time, and then I had some technical issues. So here we are. Luis, where do you want to get started? I see you got that fancy schmancy Covino and Rich background, so I don't know where you want to get started, man.
It's the after show, but a little later. Yeah, bro, I figured the guys have the new digs and the new soft launch renovation. I think we talked about it. I don't know if it was the last episode or before that. God, bro, I should have made my fucking bet. I think I was going to say, I bet you my goddamn paycheck that it wouldn't be done. It's technically not done. They said that they got some shit they're going to hang and all that. I mean, I haven't seen the full thing. I've been working my ass off the last couple of days, but I did catch a couple of videos just so I can say that I've seen. But yeah, I'm thinking they're going to hang some more shit up and do some other shit. I think it'll be better, but... Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit, but it looks plain right now because it's just a fucking wall and there's guys sitting next close to each other so they can touch each other's balls or whatever, but we'll see what it looks like. But nah, man, I've been fucking just grinding, bro, so I got a couple things, but if you get any CNR stuff, bring it up, because other than that, I've been kind of slaving away the last couple of days.
I know you've been traveling, you've been working, so I'm not even tripping, Doug. I haven't been able to listen live. And what up, Andrew? Andrew joined us. Thank you so much, Andrew. We started way later than usual, and then even then, after that, we had technical issues, so we were super late. But thank you for joining us. Yeah, man, I've actually been crazy grinding at work too, and it's crazy because we just got some. I'll keep it vague and just say we got some super awesome approval today that months and months of work have been going into, and we just got the thumbs up today. So freaking my buddy at work was like, dude, you got to bring this shit up on the after show. And I was like, I don't want to put all of our work business out there, so I'll just say, dog, we got a great approval, and it was super awesome. So dog, I just months and months of work that finally paid off, dog, and it just gives you that excitement to, I know you just went to the competitor right now, dog, so gave you that new little burst of energy,
Yeah.
So it's just cool, man. It's been, I mean, I know that the after show has taken a backseat as far as like I haven't been able to do any clips, and I haven't, we've still been hitting here every week, but I haven't been able to do anything extra besides our actual show. So I apologize to everybody else, but dog, I've been grinding, you've been grinding, so we'll get there eventually when we can, right? That's why I say after show, but later. But dog, there's so many things from this week that I wanted to get into. The first is, Doug, and we just have to get right into this. Have you watched? I don't know if you have, but it doesn't matter because we'll talk about it. The Kevin Hart roast.
No, I haven't. So I did catch Covino was talking about it, and I've seen some social media clips, but I haven't seen the whole thing, like from start to finish.
Okay, well, Spot didn't like it. Said it was too crass. Covino didn't like it. Said it was cheap jokes. Rich loved it. This is going to be one of the only times, probably in the after show 338 episodes, that I slide more Rich. I really enjoyed it, Doug. I really enjoyed it. Doug, they were just like, Covino was like, what did he say? He was like, they're just being mean to each other. And I'm like, dog, it just reminded me of like kicking it like with your homies and shit. And you just say the meanest shit you could possibly say to each other, right? And dog, it's so like that's what roasting is, right? And Tony Medina had said, yeah, the guy that was hosting. I'm like, the guy that was hosting? You mean one of the biggest names in comedy right now, Shane Gillis, to be like the guy that was hosting, and then I don't know if it was Covino or Spot that said it's just a cheap excuse to be an asshole. And Doug, I'm like, say what you want. I enjoyed it. And so it may not be for everybody. Maybe roasts just aren't your thing, right? But Doug, that freaking, was it Cheryl Underwood that they said she looked like a puddle of mud that a little kid wished to bring to life or something? I'm like, Doug, that is just, to me, that's creative as hell, Doug, because that bitch is ugly as hell, you know? And I'm just like, Dog, that's going hard, right? And there was a lot of backlash because there was like a Charlie Kirk joke, and Doug, the thing is though, because like one of the things that was said, some of the people that are upset are like, well, how does Charlie Kirk's family feel about it? How does this person's family, or how does this or that or that? I'm like, can't you say that about any jokes? Like if you're like, Doug, so there was a couple of midgets. Would it midgets be offended, right? Or unless you're saying like, don't we have Entenmann's anymore? Like unless you're doing like some like corny ass Sebastian shit, which I like Sebastian, but I feel like you're always gonna be able to be offended by comedy. So to say that, that it's cheap and it's this and it's that. Dog, I feel like because maybe you were offended by certain things this time, then now you're like, I didn't think it was funny. Well, that's cool, but that doesn't mean that they're all hanging fruit. They're all whack jokes or whatever. Again, I'm not saying it was the best thing I've ever seen, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I hope whenever you get to check it out, Luis, that you come back, form your own opinion. So I don't expect you to take my opinions. Those opinions that were just said were a reflection of myself, not the entire after show, but later, right? We do have 50% of Luis Cortez here that has his opinion. So yeah, man. But it was just I thought it was good. I thought it was good, and I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was good.
I think your take on like that's what you do with your homies, like. Some of the best jokes or like the funny shit are the ones from my homies who hit home the most because like, bitch, you know my dirty shit, or like you know that hurts, but it's funny and shit. Like, oh, remember that one time with that chick where you're like, hey, fool, like
Dog.
that's fucked up, bro, but it's everybody laughs because it's true or it's funny. I'm like, and so I think a lot of those fools are kind of the who's who of comedy. They're them and themselves are a little clique. I know maybe. Some have some beef here and there. I think I've seen some shit where Cat and him kind of stomping some shit out. But, I mean, I think it's all love at the end of the day. Of course there's going to be digs. There's always digs. But, bro, when you used to say, oh, I forgot roasted, it's because they hit you, like, below the belt. They pick on you. Like, you know what you're going in there to do. I get that it's probably become something different than what it used to be. Or at least, like, Camino and Spot kept saying, what was that old guy who used to do it back in the day?
Like Don Rickles?
No, it was like the original Dean Martin. No, Dean Martin,
they did do like a Dean Martin roast back in the day.
It was just a lot nicer, more sensitive. Like it wasn't so.
Like, hey,
brutal,
what's up with that Jerry curl? Like or whatever. Like to me, that's just like
it's evolved, and it's like. I guess I haven't seen it yet, but when I watch it, I wonder what the Rotten Tomatoes, the potatoes, says about it. Like,
Doug,
what reviews.
Doug, I love Covino with all my heart. Like, homie, Doug. But he said that it was just like, oh, I burned you with my cleverness. I'm like, Doug, isn't that's the point of a roast? Like that's literally, Doug. I had a friend, right, who had all kinds of issues with his lady or ex-lady or whatever. I'll just keep it at that. And one time, Doug, and I know she'd get crazy, right? She was crazy. I'll just say she was crazy. Well, Doug, one time I knew that she was like, we were kicking it, and I knew that she was like hitting him up like crazy. And he was like, oh, bro, he's like, she's gonna pull up right now, right at the pad. So I went and I grabbed his little butcher block of knives or whatever, Doug. And I put it under the sink. And he's like, oh, dog. He's all fucked up. He's like, but that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit.
You know what I'm saying, dog? Like, I did it just to be funny. Like, oh, yeah, Doug, we know she's crazy. And you said she got here. I'm putting the knives away, Doug, And it's just like, I don't know, Doug. Like I know it's not as crazy as joking about, like, But dog, even about like dog, like I lost my dad, right? And I'll say some fucked up shit sometimes about okay. Like I told you when my daughter was asking about my sister's dog, right? And we never told her that my sister's dog died. So my dad's name's Javier, right? My dad passed away. So one day my daughter was like, "Daddy," she's like, "Where's Coco been? I haven't seen Coco." And I was like, "She's kicking it with Grandpa Javier." And she was like, "Oh." That was my way of telling her, dog. Like,
Yeah.
but there's even times where like I'll joke about like one of my buddies, dog, one of my best friends. Him and my dad were friends, and I'll make jokes like, "All right, dog, I got to get home. My dad's calling me," or some shit, right? But dog, to me, that's just like some fucked up shit where you're like, yeah, you may have cried about it at one point, but I mean, this is the whole point of a joke, right? And the thing is, a joke can come from a good place or I mean, it can be funny or not funny, but it's all coming from the same place. They're trying to make you laugh. Maybe it's just not for you. So it made me laugh. That's all I'll say, Doug.
It's funny you say that because I got one of my best friends, and I'm not gonna
I
say
just realized the
names.
camera was on you that whole time, so perfect.
Oh fuck yeah!
We had air Danny
One of
for
my
that.
one of my best one of my best friends, like his dad was a piece of shit, and he will say that, and he still says that, and he has like a very distant relationship with him, but he has like a stepdad who was basically his dad and all that. So like when it was like Father's Day or anything like that, or like bring your parents to school day, he would make fun of himself and shit. Or and where it's almost like to put a little bit of humor on some sad shit to just like make light of it because it sucks. Like he didn't have his dad really, and
Yeah.
and he's made into so many jokes that we do it now too, in all good fun. You know what I mean? But he does that too, where he was like, "Oh, it's Father's Day," like. Oh, I guess I'm not doing shit today.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Or like, and then sometimes I would call him, and then you remember the Austin Powers when like, Daddy wasn't there, and so
to
I'd
take me
call him and
to the
just
fair.
play that shit and hang up, and
Oh,
just because.
Doug. Doug, so I had a buddy, give me a nickname or a name. Just any name.
Jose.
Jose. My buddy Jose, right? Doug, he had his voicemail in college. I mean, in high school. It sounded like this. Whenever they'd be like, "You reached the voicemail box of," and then you know how you would say your name? You'd be like, "Luis," right? He was like, "Jose." And he sounded like super gay, right? So, Doug, I remember in class, we were like, Doug, hey, Jose, don't answer your phone. So we would put it on speaker, Doug, and call his phone, and he wouldn't answer just so we could play it for the class of everybody being like, Jose. Right? Like, we'd go crazy, Doug, we'd play it again. And I'm like, because, I mean, you sounded gay, Doug. It was funny, right? But I don't know, Doug, it was just like, maybe it's just like you grow up different. So maybe if you didn't grow up a certain way, you maybe feel like a little differently about that kind of humor. But I loved it, Doug.
Hey, talk about roasting. That was I wasn't watching, and I caught most of the shows on my drive here, my 7 hour drive here. Uh, I thought it was funny how when it was talking about roasting. I don't know who it was, but somebody fucking sang Rich Just for Men, like right on cue when it
Oh,
showed
I think
up.
it was Mike Dillahay.
Oh yeah, I think he's done that a couple of times. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Like, shout out to Mike Dillay. That was like such a fucking perfect good
Uh,
joke and shit.
yeah, no, it was hilarious. That was a unique mail time. Let me see. Oh, you know what, Doug? This was one. They were talking about like how are you if your buddy maybe he talked all kinds of shit about his lady, right? Like they broke up and he's like, man, she was this, she was that, she would go with this, whatever. And then your buddy gets back with her. There's some people that are like, nah, bro, I can't support that or whatever. I again am leaning more I don't know, I don't remember how Covino and how Spot felt about this, but I do remember Rich saying this, where he was like, if my buddy decides to get back with the chick, then I'll let him know. And this is me. I'll be like, dog, maybe not the smartest decision, right? But if you're gonna be with her and that's your shit, then cool. It's all gravy. If we're kicking it, then I'll be cool with her. I'm not gonna bring up no shit. I'm not gonna roll my eyes when she's talking, dog. Like I'll be cool. And I just feel like some people are more like, no, I'm taking a stance. I think it's more of a chick thing. Like, he's no good for you, and it's usually an ugly bitch, that's jealous. So,
I I didn't catch that. Was that yesterday
No,
or
I don't
today?
remember which day it was.
But I feel like it's not my fucking drama. Like I'm not paying her bill. She's not paying mine. I'm not taking her home and shit. So like, I don't gotta put up with her and like whatever or him. And to your point, like, hey, look, yeah, I support my homie or my homegirl. Like, if you're gonna put up with it or you're gonna deal with it, then I support you. Right? If that's what you want, then if you're gonna be happy with it, then I got you food. Because I had homies like that or homegirls like, oh, if you're bringing whatever, like I'm not gonna be here because she did this to you and that.
Yeah.
Like bitch, like your fucking man slaps you around and I don't fucking like you know what I mean. You're still with him and shit. Like you want me and like I have to not say shit about it
Yeah.
and this happened and you're like and I'm like well fucking whatever. Like you know it sucks because it kind of puts a little bit of rub there in the friendship.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got too much shit going on, bro. I don't need that shit either. So I agree with that.
Yeah, no, dog, believe me, I know plenty of craziness in relationships and friends and and this and that. But again, dog, like you said, it's not my drama, right, dog? And if we're gonna kick it once a month, maybe, why am I gonna be all weird about it, dog? Like, right? Like, I mean, I don't know, dog. Like I don't know.
Andrew says it was probably today.
It was today,
Today
was it?
show.
I don't know. It could, dog. They're all blended together for me, especially dog. Since I haven't been able to really to listen a whole lot live, they're all blending together for me. Cavino was talking about support that you get from like your personal friends. That he like, they were both actually all of them, all three of them, Cavino, Rich, and Spot. They were saying how all of us that are there daily support them more than people they know, right? So, it's crazy to me because one thing that I think is so cool about the Cavinos is, Doug, anything I post as far as like an after show story, right? Hey, we're gonna be live tonight, or hey, a stupid little, hey, taking my daughter to freaking dance. Make sure you subscribe or whatever. Anything I post on stories or whatever, Don and Tommy always watch them. Always. Doug. So not only do they support Cavino, they support those that support Cavino. And Doug, and this is a weird one to me because I watched him growing up, but Cavino's homie, Brian McFadden, who I watched on TRL growing up because, I was a little pop princess. I watched Brian McFadden, and Doug, he watches 90% of our stories as well. So he'll give him a little heart. He'll watch them, whatever. And Doug, and it's just, to me, that's like, and I know Cavino said, oh, McFadden was like watching our stuff or whatever, and then he kind of fell off for a minute. And then I recently seen him like show up again, and I don't know, dog, maybe he was just enjoying his family or whatever, but it's crazy. The Cavinos and Brian McFadden support Cavino's show that supports Cavino, right? So I just think it's so cool, and it's crazy because I don't know how many of your personal friends check out the after show, but later. But dog, I could list them on three fingers of my personal friends that check out the after show, So like, Doug, so it's like, I'll have like some of my best friends being like, oh, hey, are you still doing that podcast? Yeah, Doug, 300 and almost 40 episodes deep, Oh, but you took a break, huh? I'm like, no, dog, you took a break. I'm like, right? But I don't know, dog. I just think it's so cool when you do have, it just means a little more, dog, because it's like, I know they get nothing out of watching this or whatever, but still just jump on, give a like, whatever, dog, like say hello and whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, that is kind of badass, and it's Carlos supporting Carlos, and that brings me to something I saw on Facebook, and fuck, I forget what's our homie with the e-bike? What's his name?
Oh, Jeff Manning.
Jeff Manning. Did somebody was giving him heat the other day? Did you
I
see
saw
that?
that.
And I am not one to fucking say shit on Facebook because I've seen people do that. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking say. I wanted that was like one of the couple few times that I can count on that I wanted to kind of talk shit. Cause and somebody else said it, and I like that comment because they're like, "Bro, this is a community of people helping each other out, supporting each other, good times, bad times, charity, people selling shit, people trying to hook each other up, us supporting them supporting us." And then that's all he was trying to do. He was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, bro, if anybody is interested, because like e-bikes and all that shit, it's like everyone wants them nowadays, and they're
Yeah.
not cheap. And this was basically giving you a discount and a hookup price." That's all he's doing, and some fucking asshole was like, "Oh, what's this page all about? Like politics and people signing to sell e-bikes." And like, I knew that was the dig to the homie, and
It,
I was
it
like,
was,
"You
it was.
motherfucker, dig! Like, what a piece of shit." I actually got a little butthurt.
I did
like
too.
I said, I was
well
this
because
close
it
to
was
saying
directly
something.
at him. If it would have just
Yeah,
said,
of course.
if it would have said like, is this been a
Marketplace.
page about politics and promoting your business or whatever? That's one thing.
Yeah.
But they definitely said like e-bikes and this and that. And I was like, dog, that's so messed up. Like, why throw somebody under the bus like that? You know, I don't know, dog. And to even try to hide behind e-bikes, just say like, fucking Jeff Manning, what are you doing, bitch? Or whatever. Like, you know, like if you're gonna call him out, call him out. Don't be trying to like make it a little vague.
I think he's like the only fucking guy that we know in the CNR world that does it. Like, bitch, you know you're talking about him. And like, and I mean, I follow those pages pretty often. I've never seen that much spam from Jeff where I'm like, bro, this will post every hour on the hour, every fucking day. Like, buy my shit, buy my shit. I see it here and there. Or like, I don't even know what this guy was talking about. Or like, it's not, at least it's not flooding my feed or like this was posting every day where I can get like to be too much. But even then, like, fuck it, bro. But yeah, that was annoying as fuck.
Yeah, way passive aggressive. Andrew says, I agree, man. And it's like, dog, and the same thing, if you're seeing all his posts, it's because you wait too long before you scroll away, right? What does Gary Vee say? It's interest media. It's not social media anymore. So you're seeing the things that you're pausing on for 3 to 5 seconds. You're seeing, you know, if your eyes are zooming in on a girl's boobs, right? Now you're getting a lot of big tits on your Instagram, you know, explore page. Or if you're freaking, you know, you're like, why are all these chinas on my explore page? And then you realize that every time you see a light-skinned little Korean, you're like, oh, you kind of, before you actually scroll away, it's interest media. So if it's on your explore page, if it's on your freaking Facebook feed, right? Because Doug, unless you physically go in on the Carl page and change it to a most recent, then it's gonna be catered to your freaking whatever you see, right? So it's kind of whack to be like, oh, is this all it is? Well, dog, you must be liking e-bikes, right? You must be fucking having like, so Doug, it's whatever. What a I don't even know who said that.
I don't even know who that guy was either. Like, maybe he was having a bad day, whatever, and everyone has one. But yeah, I thought that was annoying.
I have plenty of bad days, dog. I don't go talking shit on people's shit.
For real,
right? You know,
that's what we get along for. Because I fucking slap a motherfucker.
Right, dog. I freaking I've had a lot of bad days, dog. Right, like yeah. I don't know, man. But let me see.
I gotta real quick. Well, and maybe I want to get your take. And this is another. Today must be we're on Rich's sack day because I lean a lot of Covino too, and it fucking tripped me out when he was talking about the Vicks. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Because I thought the same shit, and I still feel like it's the same shit. Where like
I still don't believe it, dog. To me it does seep into your body.
I feel like
your body has to absorb it.
It creates like, I don't know, I feel like it creates like heat or whatever, where like it helps your muscles maybe relax, something to where like the phlegm or whatever congestion like has room to break up or move around.
I agree, dog.
And like I don't know, fool, like, you know, but I was like, yo, it must be one of those Mandela effects. I swear that's what I remember growing up, like since ever, bro.
Dog, didn't you even see like and this could be Mandela effect, but don't you remember like the Vicks commercials? They would rub it on their chest and they would like have little arrows seeping into like their body and shit. Like,
yeah,
have the guy laying on his side and the arrows are going down towards his back. Like
my grandma and mom used to put it like in the spots where I were like, oh, it makes sense, like up here in your chest for the congestion. And my mom always put it like in my back or here where your kidneys and shit are, like where it would like help do it shit, you know. And I guess that's what I always did and shit. It was funny how fucking and then dumbass Rich was thinking about putting some in his taint. That shit would have been hilarious. I don't think he did it, but
I missed that.
Oh, but yeah, because they're like, yeah, imagine you put some in your nuts or whatever, and they're like, ooh, probably feel minty fresh, and they were daring him to do it. I don't think he did, bro. I'm like, bro, I feel like that shit will burn. I remember one time I was a kid, I had like a runny nose, and like, you know, when you keep scraping your nose, it gets all raw and shit. And then I went to put Vicks so I could smell, and like, bro, that shit was terrible. It was like putting alcohol because like I had raw skin, and I put the Vicks, like,
yeah,
that shit burns. I can't imagine putting that shit anywhere your private parts.
Yeah, one time I accidentally wiped my ass with a freaking Clorox wipe instead of a flushable wipe, dog. Dog, I'm not even lying. I was like, dog, have you seen like remember those like shows from like the 90s where somebody's like screaming and it zooms out from like their house to like their city to like
it
the
just keeps
world,
going,
and then you're like his face, dog. That's how it was. It was like, ah.
I feel like some Boy Me Well shit.
That must have been like, dog. That must have been like freaking 03, 02, dog. Because I don't even know if I was in high school yet. Maybe it was like 01. But dog, I just remember getting a Clorox wipe and be like, maybe my mom left them in the pad because she was like maybe washing, wiping down the restroom, and I was reaching for like a flushable wipe, dog. Oh my god, dog! You'll never forget that.
I bet your culo has never been that clean, though.
I felt like I could breathe out of my ass. You know when you would wipe Vicks on your chest, dog, and you get that, you feel like you can breathe more air than you've ever been able to breathe, dog? That's how my ass felt, dog. I was like, gave it like one wipe, dog. Apparently, you have 9 million cuts on your ass you never knew about until that happens, dog. I was like, dog, then I sit there thinking, dog, if I have this many cuts on my ass, how does shit not get in them and I get infected, dog? How have they not had to chop off my butt, dog? Yeah, you wipe one time with the Clorox wipe, you'll never do it again. So,
yo, Andrew says Vicks and Robitussin cure everything. Fucking hate Robitussin. He's right though. That shit did, but fuck, man, I can taste that fucking word, bro. Like I just it tastes like Jaeger or like black licorice. That shit used to be gross as fuck.
Dog,
I haven't had that in forever.
I wonder if that's like a lower, I don't want to say lower middle class, but I don't know if it's like a poorer thing, dog. But I know a lot of freaking brothers use Robitussin as well. So I know a lot of people, dog. So I don't know if maybe you grew up a little wealthier. Maybe Robitussin wasn't part of your shit, dog. But Vicks and Robitussin was like my entire childhood.
Yeah.
Dog, we never had health insurance growing up, dog, right? Like, you remember George Lopez, like, drink a Sprite or whatever. If you really want to cure your shit, you put a little bit of lemon in it. That was 100%, dog. Like, but yeah, Robitussin. I don't know if you've heard yet, but but Shay no longer works for Fox Sports Radio. He moved on. So if you guys have Shay on social media, just make sure you go and give him a little thumbs up and we're gonna miss you or whatever, dog, because he was at the CRC. We got to meet him, dog. I have 2 observations about Shay. If you've never met him in person, dog. You see how Mexican I get sometimes, dog? If you never met him on person, right? Sometimes, dog, people make fun of me because they're like, I pocho this, pocho that. But I'm like, dog, then I say shit like, I've never met him on person. Dog, then you're like, oh shit, he is Mexican, right? But dog, like 2 observations from Shay, dog. Way taller than I imagined, right? He's probably about 6'2", 6'3". And dog has the most ethnic eyebrows of anybody I've ever seen in my whole life, dog. And they come through in his pictures, dog, but in person, dog, they look like what's the old joke? Like they're 2 caterpillars, but for real, dog, and you know what, dog? And good for Shay because he pulls all kinds of ass. So good for Shay.
Yeah, but I met him at the CRC, and that 2 couple things I saw there. He was wearing a Browns jersey, and I was like, bro, the Browns. Like, bro, I just looked at jersey, and that fool was fucking high out of his mind, like that whole
He's
trip.
higher the entire time I seen him, dog.
Like bloodshot. Like I was like, hey, fool, like you're like. I mean, just like barely his eyes open and shit. Like, yo, you all right, fool? Like, yeah, I'm chilling and shit. And then he got a special treat that weekend too.
Yeah, no, yeah. So Shay was fun. I know he was supposed to do more CRC videos and stuff, and he was just too faded. Ended up not doing a whole bunch. So, but it was cool, dog. A lot of us got to meet him and see the Shay that Cavino and Rich would always talk about, because they would talk about he was kind of like Tommy, a little airheaded, but I don't even know if he was so much airheaded besides being just high, dog. He was faded every time I seen him.
Hey, do you think? I thought they just said that he was going to be like a little bit more involved with their show.
Patreon.
Do you think he?
Well, they had said that like maybe before he got the job. And they were like, he's going to be more involved, this and this. And then when they announced that he was leaving, they were like, we hope he can still help us out on Patreon. I was like, dang, dog. That means that, like, I mean, whatever. So
I thought he was going to do more of the stuff that, like, that you and we were talking about, like more interactive and like, stuff that I think would be just better to move the show along. But we'll see if he's even going to help. And I mean, more power to him and good luck. He's doing one of the local Cali shows, but. Yeah, he was a cool cat, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, good luck, brother, and supporting you.
Doug, I don't think you've heard the story because it was from today, but oh my goodness, Doug, there's just some stories about there's a place here in town called Temptations, right? It's it's a
Gentlemen's
strip club, right? Yeah, and this is a full nude one, right? And so things have gone down to that place, right? It's crazy. But Cavino said in Seaside Heights there was a place called Temptations, and it wasn't a strip club; it was just like a club, whatever. But dog, he said that he freaking this was one time he went to this club because I don't know if his like lady was working or his lady was there or whatever, his ex or whatever. And he was going back and I guess he was trying to like run into her on accident or whatever. And I guess she was like so over him or whatever, dog, that he said he actually ended getting picked up by like his shirt in like 80s movie and tossed out of the club. I was like, dog, I'm like, how many years I listened to Cavino and Rich? I don't think I've ever heard that story of Cavino physically being tossed out of a club. So Temptations, just know if you have one in your neck of the woods, probably don't go there unless you have a whole lot of homies with you.
Nah, bro, I don't think there's plenty of other spots I hate, but not Temptations.
Mm-mm.
There's definitely a lot of Temptation, but not one of those. That's when I can picture his ass just getting carried out like a cartoon and shit.
Yeah, that is funny as hell. Let me see, Doug. What else? There was I don't know if you caught it, but I know Cavino was looking forward to it. The Richard Simmons documentary that they had coming out. It was like a special that they had on like freaking 2020 or some shit, and like Diane Sawyer or whatever, one of them old bitches. We're gonna talk about him, and it was a pretty good special, dog. It was cool. The kind of like I felt like a moron when it was over because, dog, it ends with him dying and shit, right? And then like it's over, and I was just like, dog, I wanted more, right? And I was like, what else do you want after he died? Like, so I just think because I don't know if I thought it was gonna be longer because it was like 45 minutes. So I thought it was gonna be like maybe a 2-hour special or maybe 2 or 3 episodes. I think because we're so spoiled with that kind of shit. I don't know, like when it was like, oh yeah, he fucking died, and then peace, and then it was over. I was like, all right, dog. But it was cool. I learned a lot about his story about growing up, and they had his brother on the documentary. And it's funny because as soon as they cut to his brother, before they ever said who he was, I'm like, dog, that's either Richard Simmons or that's his brother. Because this dude looked exactly like him. Just like, it's crazy because even he had like a little feminine touch to him, but he did the documentary with his wife. So I was like, I don't know, dog. Maybe it's just something in those Simmons genes, you know?
This is the fool that used to wear like the little bra looking shirt with the fro and the exercise,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bra looking shit.
El little pinche, el little tío.
Well, yeah, dog. And I remember it was funny because he used to come on Howard Stern all the time. And I used to love Howard Stern back in the day. And, dog, I remember Howard was a dick, but it was kind of funny. I'll be real. Because he would be like, Richard. And they played a clip from Howard Stern where Howard was like, oh, he was like, have you ever been in love? And he starts like whatever. But I remember him coming on Howard Stern, dog, and Howard being more of a dick. Maybe this is earlier before Howard like got saved and shit or whatever he did. But Doug, it was like, he'd be like, Richard, you know what? I never seen you with a good woman before. Do you have any ladies in your life? And then he'd be like, Howard, right? He would basically go, motherfucker, right? Because it was funny though, because Howard would be like, you know, a good looking guy like you, fitness guy like you, you know, I just think you're probably slaying ass, right, Richard? And he'd be like, Howard. And dog, when he would drop that Howard, it made me laugh so hard because he was just like, he hit him with a motherfucker, right? Right? If this was the 90s, he would say, Howard, please, right? But yeah, dog. It was
I don't even know his whole story. Like, how did he come up and who he was and all that?
I didn't know either.
I guess I'll have to watch it.
The only thing I remember, dog, is fucking my mom sweating to the oldies and shit in the fucking 90s.
He's a maniac.
Right,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Come on, ladies, right? Like, dog. I didn't know anything else about him really because why the fuck would I, right? Like, and they showed a bunch of clips of him coming out like on Jay Leno and shit like that. I remember that, right? Like when I was a kid, he'd be on Rosie O'Donnell and Jay Leno and all that shit. But I didn't know anything about like his upbringing and shit, dog. And like, all that shit. So it was cool, dog. I thought it was a pretty good doc. So if you have 45 minutes to kill, I mean, watch the what did
What's it on?
Hulu.
Okay,
I
I'll
don't
have
know
to check
where
it
I don't know
out.
where it like originally aired, probably ABC or some shit, but I saw it on Hulu. But yeah, Doug, let me see.
I got something real quick. So
Sure.
I love aliens and shit, and I know it's kind of been on the thing right now because the
Doug, I
government
love
released a
aliens
bunch of
too.
shit. But did you see or did you ever know who Bob Lazar is?
Of course.
Did you watch the new one?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, bro, it's so good. So if you watched the first one, you heard him talk about S4, which is where he says he used to work at,
Yeah.
and he saw all these things and all that shit. So on Amazon, it just came out, and it actually not came out maybe in the last month or two. It hit like it was #1 on there and all that. And so basically, what some fool did, some Canadian director guy, they spent millions of dollars, basically like AI. And not just AI, but like 10% AI, and this was some crazy software building everything that this was saw to where it's like realistic to where when Bob Lazar saw like the shit they were building like in this virtual world, he started remembering more shit. Or like, oh no, there was a door right here, this on that. So it actually like paints a picture of all the crazy shit that he saw and said, and it really just brings it all together. And it's so fucking. I mean, I love that shit. It's so badass. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you're into that shit, watch it. And it's only like phase 1, I guess. This his name's Luigi something. He's some famous director guy. They're gonna make a website where you can go in there and like hook up VR goggles to it and like walk around the whole compound.
Uh,
That's like the recreation of to Bob Lazar's fucking tea, you know what I mean? And so yeah, it's so fucking badass, and just to see some of the things that he was talking about, like the spaceship and the shit he was working on, is fucking mind boggling. It sounds so fake when you hear it, and it even looks, mm, and I say fake because it just sounds like it's so unrealistic sounding that you can't fathom that it's real, but I believe it. And just for like example, like there's this the way this craft, they call it the sports model, is powered. There's a tube that comes down and connects to this thing, whatever. So like if you're in the industry or anything, if you move a piece of pipe, it usually collapses, like an umbrella or maybe like those stripper poles that collapse, right?
mhm.
They go from like smaller to smaller to smaller, or you can see where there's a crease. Or if you physics and science says if you make something smaller, it's gonna get wider,
Yeah.
or if you make something taller, it's gonna get narrower because there's only so much material there.
Yeah.
This fucking pipe changes height and it never changes
Like
like
consistency or thickness or whatever.
nothing. And then like the way there's like three like basically like engines kind of thing that have pipes that the engines move to where like the craft needs to move, and like the pipe contorts. Like I'm a mechanic and I work in weld pipe. There is nothing fucking out there that it moves almost like a hose, like a vacuum hose. You know how it's kind of accordion, like a slinky.
Yeah.
How when it moves, it can move, but you know it kind of crumples up and one side and the other side opens up. But this is some kind of a crazy steel, whatever the fuck it's made out of pipe that moves through engine things that causes shit. It's so fucking. I'm getting on a tangent, but it's so mind blowing, bro. Watch it if you haven't been, and it's on Amazon. You can buy it for $20 or like rent it for like $10, whatever. But it's so badass, especially with all the alien shit going on right now with the government and stuff.
What do you call it? What was I going to tell you? Oh no, but and it's cool because Doug, the way you're saying about he came out on Joe Rogan when he was about actually before it came out. So before this came out, he came out on Rogan with the director. And so
Yep,
that's
I
where
saw
some
that
of
too.
the stuff was where he was saying like, "Oh no, wait, actually now, dog, like I can actually see it." And he was like, it
Hmm.
wasn't even like, "Oh yeah, I remember this." He was like, "It's like I was there again." So it
Hmm.
reminded me, Doug, of again, Doug, I think we're the best show at doing this, bringing it back to Covino and Rich. How Hortensia said like how she would like could I don't know if it was pictures or she would think of something or whatever, where she could like remember something of like the house she grew up in and like move like the freaking the toaster, and behind it there was like the dad's keys for work. Oh, I remember that is where he would keep his keys or whatever. But she didn't remember it until she moved the toaster in her brain or whatever. And that's
Yeah.
kind of like what I took from it about like the Bob Lazar shit. And Doug, I was so stoked when he came out and it was gonna come out. And then when it actually did, I was like, oh fuck, it was already, you know?
On that episode, it was funny because I saw the movie and then I listened to another podcast. So on the movie and even in the first movie, there's a local Vegas, George Knapp is his name. He
Yeah.
was the one who actually broke the story originally, like when Bob Lazar came out in '88 or whatever. And he was talking in the Joe Rogan interview. Did you see how Bob Lazar got kind of drunk and shit? They were making fun of him because he kind of he was like, I need to stop drinking, and they were making fun of him how he was like he was kind of human, you know, like they were
Yeah.
drinking whiskey and shit, and like I guess he had too much to drink, and they were kind of
Do you
making fun of
remember?
him.
Well, I'm sure you do because you're into this. But do you know, or I would say the general you, do you guys know how he ended up getting caught, or not caught but kicked out of the program? Do you know the backstory on that about his wife?
Yeah,
And correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know everything, right?
yeah,
But from what I understand is Bob Lazar was in this super secret, high security program or whatever, right? Where it was like couldn't tell nobody shit, not even his wife, not even whatever. So I guess what happened was, you know how they're tapping all of his phones and all of his shit just to make sure he's like, you know, and then in doing so, found out his wife was cheating on him, thought that he was gonna break down or something, and then like be not mentally able to handle going through this with his wife and all of the information and then let it out and this and this. So they ended up firing him because they thought he was going to be a risk to letting out the information, right?
yes and no. So
Damn it, I thought I was right.
that is part of the story, and so that was what triggered it, and and he says it now. Like his biggest thing was he felt like he needed to say something because he's like, I can't believe this is happening and nobody knows.
Hmm.
So he told a couple of his homies. And what happened when he told his homies, they're like, yeah, whatever, fucking we don't believe you. He saw a flight plan where they were testing the UFO. Like, hey, on every Wednesdays, and they said this on the show, they would fly when not every Wednesday, but every when they had to test fly this shit, they would do it on Wednesdays because that's since it's right off the freeway,
Hmm.
that's the day that's just less traffic in general. So they can fly this thing without too much people seeing kind of shit. So they said, hey, he told his homies, next Wednesday be at this spot at this time and you're gonna see some crazy shit. So they saw it. And then they started believing him. So then they started going out there every here and then and then he was actually there a couple times. And that's what started them to they were catching on and they were fucking spying on him already. And then they started tapping into his phones and all that shit. And then when they caught him, they said, this just adds on to it because your wife was cheating on you with her fucking flight
Oh,
instructor. And we were worried that this was going to happen, like separately from this was going to happen. So because of this and this, like you're done.
yeah, dog. I just and I I'm fascinated by like all of that, dog, and to the point where they say like some of these machines and shit that they recovered at the time, dog, in like the 70s or whatever, like everybody's like, this shit isn't even like possible. Like how could they make these crafts? And then fast forward to 2026, dog, and we have like 3D printers that can make like seamless, objects and this, dog. And you're like, oh, maybe these crafts that we're recovering are from even the future from now to where dog, where the technology we can't even comprehend yet is already old in their book, you know? So I'm fascinated by all that shit, dog. I guess that's the point of my story.
Sorry, I didn't mean to fucking get us into aliens, but yeah, that was kind of fucking crazy. And I know Kavino loves that shit and he was talking about it too. I sent him a couple things about it too when he was gone.
Dog, I have a beanie that I got when I was in Vegas, and it says Area 51. And it has like a fucking a little fucking alien logo and shit, dog. The last time I was like on Fremont, I got that. I love that
Yo, I
shit.
just wanted to, before I forget, and we still got some time, but I just wanted to wish everyone, all the moms out there a happy belated Happy Mother's Day. I know it's quite the job. I know I'm a pain in the ass to my mom, and she put up with my ass for a lot of things. So,
For
so
sure.
a lot of us, everybody would be here with all our moms. So, quick shout
Yeah.
out to all the moms up there and shit.
Yeah, agreed, Doug. And it's funny because Hortensia actually was like, I never had a problem with Cavino because he was a
All
perfect
right.
boysy. And you know what though, Doug? I'm like, yeah, I was a good kid. I'm like, but Funky Monkey right here in the chat live, happy Mother's Day belated to you. So yeah, with the kids, I mean, she's you know what? You know something I learned about Funky Monkey recently? And correct me if I'm wrong, Funky, but I think you named your youngest baby after Ryan Sheckler's little brother. I think his name is Kane. Um, so anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say, Doug. My mind's all over the place. But let me see. When your friend vents to you, we already talked about that. Oh, dog. One thing that Jordan said that again, I love Cavino, I love Jordan, I love the family, but Jordan called out Cavino and said, "You're 50. Why are you on social media?" And I'm like, dog. Besides it
And
being
he
part
catches
of their
that.
job,
Yeah.
dog, I'm like, besides it being part of their job, just because you're 50 doesn't mean you can't be on social media because, dog, and I hate to be, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but like 50 really is like the new 30, dog. Like my mom's in her late 50s, but she still be scrolling shit and showing me videos. Like it's not like back in the day, dog. Like my nieces back in the day, they were on, before it was TikTok, it was like, what the hell is it called? Like lyrically or some shit or some bullshit like that. And but I forget what it was called. But it's not like that anymore, dog. It's just what's cool about it, like Gary Vee said, interest media, right? So you could be 50, you could be 60, you could be 70, dog, and you could see like freaking Gomer Pyle or whatever the hell you watched when you were a kid, right? So the fact that she said you're 50, you shouldn't be on social media, Doug. So in 15 years, Jordan shouldn't be on social media. I'm like, dog, I'm pretty sure whatever the thing is, she's gonna be then because she's not gonna feel 50, right? Cavino don't feel 50. I'm sure, Doug, like I'm 38. I'm sure Cavino feels like he's younger than me, right? And it's just like, Doug, like just because I feel like you hit a certain age, if my nana could operate a phone, I think she would be on social media.
And it's just getting more that way. And like that age is just catching on to that. Like my mom and shit just getting into shit like that. Where like she's just getting more used to it. So it's only gonna be like more in her algorithm. But yeah, get to your point. I mean, fuck, Kavino acts and says and is more younger than a lot of people too, right? He's like still he's connected. And it's part of what he does for work, which is like part of the business, but that fool is gonna be
Doug,
50 soon. That's crazy.
and And Cavino, I'm not gonna give away their name because I don't want to give away their age, but this person says I don't feel 50. And it's true though. Like even Cavino, dog. My dad passed away when he was 47, and I'm like, dog, Cavino's about to be 3 years older than my dad ever was. I'm like, but Cavino's like a boy, and my dad was like a man. You know, like to me, I don't know if it's just his young spirit that he carries. In all of them, right? Rich is 46, 47, or 57. I
He's-
forget. I forget how old Rich is. But dog, they just I don't know, dog. They carry themselves like very young spirits. So I don't know. I don't think just Cavino, in your defense, you don't need to get off social media. That's my whole thing right here, dog. Um, I have one thing, dog, before we bounce, because I know we started late, but it is getting late for us as well. We have to work tomorrow. You just had a 50 million hour drive. So, I thought this was an interesting hypothetical that they had on today's show. And it was if you could have 100,000. Oh, dog, I forgot this part of the story that I was going to tell. And now I'm going to tell it. I'm going to feel like a bitch, but I'm still going to tell it. So, if you could have $100,000 for every day that you didn't shower, how many days would you go?
Oh, is this like in a lifetime? Or like you're asking hypothetically? It's hypothetically, right?
Yeah, what do
'Cause
you
I was
mean?
just thinking, I used to, when I was young, bro, I would, I mean, it was like 2 weeks probably by the time that I'd be $200,000 deep
It
right
would,
now. But,
it would be now. If it was now, how could you do it?
oh, okay, okay. Fuck, bro. I think like, damn, I hate, back in the day when I was young, but right now, I hate being musty. I can't take it. Especially like, food, we live in hot ass fucking wet. Like, it's in the middle of summer, food. Like, I don't care if you're not doing shit. You're just standing around. You're fucking sweating, feeling like shit. I can't go to sleep like that. Like I feel nasty. 2 days max if I'm just tired or something. Three, I'd be pushing it, bro.
Dog.
Even if I were just to like axe it or deodorant up again, like I just feel grimy as fuck. So
So I'll tell you,
3 days probably
I had
max.
originally said 50 days, right? Which is $5 million,
Nah,
right?
can't do that.
And then
shit.
I thought about this happened to me without, and you know what triggered my memory is Spot said he had surgery recently and he couldn't shower for
Oh.
like 3 or 4 days, like at all, right? Doug. And then I had a flashback to when I broke my femur and my hand, right? I same hand, same leg, right? So, Doug, so I'm one side of me is entirely crippled, Doug. And I'm not proud to say this, but a couple of Vato tears were shed. I wasn't blubbering like your puppy died, but Doug, I remember, Doug, and I was grown, right? I was 21 when this happened. So, Doug, I broke my femur, broke my hand, and got back home after I was in the hospital for a week, right? In Vegas, right? You were probably down the freeway. I didn't even see you out my window, Doug. I was at Sunrise Hospital in Vegas.
Oh, I know exactly what it's
Yeah, Doug, I was in there, Doug. So I was in there for a week. I lived there for a week. And I get back home, Doug. It was about a week that I couldn't shower, right? And I could have little sponge baths, right, Doug? But I couldn't shower for an entire week. Doug, even just laying there, all I could do was lay there, right? I couldn't walk. I couldn't even stand, nothing. So I could lay there. But, Doug, just the fact that you're shitting and peeing and whatever, Doug, you need to Doug, at like a week, Doug, I remember, Doug, I started fucking having tears coming down. And I remember telling my mom, like, I can't fucking do this no more, Doug. Like, I can't do this. And Doug, I don't know how my mom didn't laugh me out of the fucking house, Doug. But I remember, Doug, it was a real moment where I was just, because, Doug, I'm a very clean person. I shower 2, 3, fucking 8 times a day. And, Doug, I remember just laying there, my big ass just, you know, I don't know if it was the way Spot had said, the closest you get to dying without dying, right? Doug, I remember, Doug, fucking laying there and being like, I can't do this anymore, right? Like, Doug, like, just, it takes a toll on you, Dog, because you're like,
Yeah.
even like, though you get a little sponge bath or whatever, Dog, you're like, no, Dog, I need to get up there in my nalgas and scrub, Dog. I need to, you know, I need a shower, Dog. And it's just crazy because, you know, when people give these hypotheticals, you're like, oh yeah, Dog, I'd go for a year, Dog, and I'd be balling, Dog. From somebody that lived it and couldn't move, right, Dog? So can you imagine if I could even walk around? I would probably be like sweaty and grimy, right? Dog, all I could do is lay there. And a week into it, Dog, I started losing my shit. I started literally having like a nervous breakdown, Dog. So I couldn't do more than a week, and I know that from experience, dude. I know that. But yeah, that's all
crazy.
I have. That's all I have.
Yeah, nah, for like I said, back in the day when I was mocoso and young, I think it's probably 2 weeks that I went and I gave him a fuck. I was axing it up and like I remember my hair was all fucking like oily and all cagado and shit. But yeah, not no more, dog. I can't.
Oh,
I just won't.
man.
I mean, I'd rather be broke, fool.
Yeah, but it was a fun time, Doc. I appreciate you jumping on right now, and
Yes,
I appreciate you guys joining us live because we didn't have no real set time for today. We said 7:30, ended up being later than that. So we appreciate you guys being here live and all your future dudes. Covino and Rich, always appreciate all of their support. Covino, Rich, Spot. We hope Spot gets better soon. We hope Covino's days are better ahead because he's been having a couple of things going on at home. And Rich, we hope the studio comes together soon so you don't just look like Luis right here. But I appreciate you guys.
It's a soft launch, bro. Chill, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry, Luis. I'm sorry.
I'll have some shit here next week. I'll have some shit hung up.
Okay, all right then.
Don't forget power line.
The power line. Yeah, hit up Covino, leave a message. Be like, Doug, if I could do accents, I feel like I would call every day and be like, oh, this is, my name is, you know, or whatever. I can't do accents though. So call up the power line. Covino needs all the help you can get. Thank you guys. Thank you, Funky. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you guys that joined us live. Thank you, future dudes. Luis Cortez Jr. After Your Drive. I really appreciate it. So the after show, but later, episode number 200 or Let me rewind it. Episode number 338. It's your boys D. It's Luis Cortez Jr. We will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning.